Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird joining you from Grand Pacifica, Nicaragua. It is sitting here drinking coffee and got breakfast, eggs, beef, rice, and a little bit of pineapple. It is actually a little overcast today, which is kind of weird because we're out of the rainy season. So a little bit of cloud cover. It's actually kind of cool. A little bit of a breeze, which it's been the coolest here since in Mexico. In the mountains, it was actually quite chilly. I was quite surprised. But it's 79 degrees right now here, and with a little breeze, and so it's supposed to go up into the mid. It's supposed to go up into the low 90s, right at 90 next week, and so but overnight it gets down to like 75, 76. So it's I tell you what, I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, a town called Fort Saskatchewan, which is just outside Edmonton. And for example, here the sun literally starts to come up at 5 a.m. So I get up at 5 and I head to the beach with the dog. And by the time I get to the beach, the sun is coming up over the horizon, and then by 6 o'clock it's full blast. And I play with the dog, I walk, I spend a lot of time outside. The sun doesn't come up in Fort Saskatchewan until like 9 o'clock, and then it sets at 4. So this is something my body is just not used to in any way, shape, or form, right? I mean, I grew up in negative 40 degrees Celsius with a wind. You know, I've been in some really cold weather. I've been in the high Arctic, and we're talking negative 70 below zero with the wind chill factor. So I've seen some really cold stuff, and this is I tell you what, that one of the reasons the culture here is so like slower, I would say more laid back, is because when it's as hot as it is here in the afternoon, like when it's like 2 or 3 o'clock, you don't have the energy to do anything. You just want to chill, and that's what most people do. They take a little siesta. You'll see some of the workers taking a little nap. They do most of their work early. So that I think that's part of the culture, that it's slower here because it is so hot. It's not an uncomfortable hot. Now, I haven't experienced like living like off the coast here in Nicaragua. I'm sure if you go inland where there's less breeze, it can be a little crazy. But I'm adjusting. The big part of this is it's really the culture here is wonderful. The people here are so nice. Like I have a housekeeper, and she broke a spatula this morning. It came with the house, and it was okay. It just wasn't very well constructed, and she was literally like, you swear she was gonna like, she was so upset, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I was like, not a big deal. I actually have an extra. I've actually brought one with me. One of the few things I brought from the States was a really good cooking pan and a spatula. So we laughed about that, but even like when she cooks me food, I'm like, feed yourself too. Oh no, I can't do that, So I've had to like, no, it's okay. You can eat. Or even like when I'm going to the store, I'm going to the city today to pick a few things up, like things that are hard to get out here, like trash bags. I had my first run-in with fire ants this morning. Like, so you want to have a trash bag to put in your garbage can, because the guy that empties the garbage, he had to dump it into. I didn't have trash bags, so he had to dump it. So some of the stuff got on the ground. So I was picking some of it up, like little chicken bones and stuff. And there's thousands. Like, if you leave something on the ground, you come back, there will be thousands of ants. And so a couple of them got on my feet and bit me a couple times. It wasn't terrible, but it was very annoying. So, that's one of the reasons I have a housekeeper. Is one of the things I struggle with is cleanliness and staying organized. So I have her come, one, because it's ridiculously cheap. 2, it helps her family. I live in a small space, so I need to make sure I have somebody picking up and cleaning up after me, because I'm not very good at doing that myself. So say what you will, but it's nice to be able to have that here. It's really a great, wonderful to have someone helping me with that. So that's been good. But getting her to give me more servings of meat, like I have plenty of meat. I buy meat, but in there, there's such an abundance of fruits and vegetables and carbs here that's the mainstay of their diet essentially is rice, potatoes, plantains, things like that. Um, Protein they eat protein here. Don't get me wrong. It's just they don't eat as much of it because it takes more effort. They don't have mass industrial farming here, so the protein they do have, the cow is being raised for. Good morning, Nicole. The cow is being raised like by the people. It takes time. The chickens are like not processed in a factory. They everything. So protein is much more valuable here. And well, fish. There's lots of fish. Masachapa is a city that's about 30 minutes from here. That's a fishing village. That's ridiculous. Like you can get for $70 US, you can buy lobster tails, pounds and pounds of shrimp, sashimi, whatever you want. So protein is just more like it's coveted here. It's very valuable. So it's just most of the meals are going to be really carb heavy, which with the amount of sun I'm getting hasn't really affected. I've actually probably leaned out a little bit since I got here, even though I've eaten more and I haven't been as strict in my eating. When it's as hot as it is here, you can get away with eating a little off the beaten path, and the food is just there's not as many chemicals and additives. Even things like Coke, there's like 3 ingredients, right? So that's been a big adjustment is getting used to just the heat in general. My body's starting to get used to that. Like, I mean, I'm at the sun sets here at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And when that sun sets, I'm in bed by 8. Like I'm done. Like, cause I'm out here outside all day. I sometimes will take a nap around 2 just to kind of lay down. But other than that, I mean, I'm done. It's over. So, I get up super early and I go to bed early, and I like it. It's really good. So just getting used to not having. I actually like the fact that I can't just order something from Amazon and it'll be here tomorrow. I actually like that. I was turning into too much of an impulse buyer in the States with Amazon. I would just get on Amazon. I'd have things coming every other day. This is great. Like, I'm going to the city today and I'm only going to get the things I really need, like trash bags. Some cleaning things are a little harder to get out here. But they have like a Costco kind of deal. And it's about an hour and a half from here. So, yes, Nicole, living the natural way. I try to live with the sun. When the sun's up, I'm going and I'm eating. And when the sun's down, I'm not eating and I'm sleeping. Or at least chilling. And that's, we've created this modern life where you never sleep because you got a fake sun rolling all the time. And I think that's one of the main reasons why people are in a lot of trouble. So, but it's, well, here, so to get gas for where I am, it's one, you don't want to have a gas vehicle here. I have a gas vehicle here, but I don't drive very far. They have 4-cylinder diesels here that are incredibly fuel efficient. Like all the 4Runners, the Helixes. I would not recommend driving your vehicle down here. I had to, so I did. I would recommend flying down and then buying something here and get yourself a diesel because they get incredibly good gas mileage. They're incredibly reliable. But so about 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road, there's a town called California. And they don't have a gas station, but they have a guy who basically does oil changes and mechanic work. And what he does is it's about a 45-minute drive to the nearest gas station from here. So I'm obviously going to fill up when I go drive today at the gas station. And when I come back, I'm going to fill up as well. Um, but what they do is they drive to town and they fill up 2-liter soda bottle containers full of gasoline, and they fill those up. And they charge a little bit more, obviously. So if I need to top my gas off just a little bit, I'll go there and get my gas topped off so I don't have to drive 45 minutes to fill my tank up. So you can get gas. It's just going to cost you a little bit more. And you can hire a driver down here for really reasonable, particularly if you have your own vehicle. So, but I've actually got some connections where I might be able to legalize my beach buggy. So we'll see how that works out. That's the nice thing about places like this is if you know the right people, you can get a lot of things done that you really couldn't get done in the United States unless you're a really, really high level person. So we'll see if we can get that taken care of, which would be great because it'd be nice to be able to have a vehicle to run to Managua every once in a while and things like that. So it's particularly, I figure I'll be going to the city at least once a month to pick up trash bags and things like that. So I also have I have a cooler that plugs into my car, and I also have a battery bank. So I have actually a freezer cooler. So I'll be taking that with me to, especially when I go to the fish market and things like that. Let's see. Glad you're loving your new home. Getting your son earthing is fun. Yes. I tell you what, that's just the natural life here. All the kids are running around in bare feet. People are outdoors here all the time. They're smart. They go in the shade. Oh, I mean, the workers here cover up a lot. But I mean, this is not the United States. Like I have to be very careful that I don't get too much sun in the afternoon. So in the States, there's very few. If you're spending, a lot of time in the morning, here you really got to be careful because you can really get burnt bad. And so I'm very, very aware of when I start feeling like I've gotten too much, and I get in the shade. But yeah, I'm loving it here. It's a lot of fun. This place in a couple years is going to be absolute dynamite. So happy to be here and happy to get this place going in the right, get this place, add some features to this place. And I'm looking forward to having people. I've already got a few people lined up to come see me here, spend a week with me here and work out, eat some good food, spend some time on the beach, check things out, get some surfing lessons. So that's something that's available to people as well. I've got this upstairs bedroom here where you can stay. So that's a service we're gonna offer to come hang out here with me. I send my driver to pick you up, all that good stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. So yes. So thanks for watching today. I appreciate you guys following along with what's going on. But it's been pretty wild. It's my body is actually adapting really quickly, but it's definitely a huge adjustment, particularly the complete opposite of when I grew up. And it's just it's wild. But as you can see, my skin has adapted fairly quickly to a more outdoor. I mean, I've been building my solar callus for a long time, probably for the last 6-7 years. I've only missed a handful of sunrises in the last 6 or 7 years, and most, I'd say, probably in the last 6 years, I'd say 80% of my days were spent 90% plus more outside. So, it's pretty crazy what you can adapt to if you just start slowly. But the people here are amazing. Just I'm very careful when I'm out, like walking around. I'm watching to make sure snakes and things like that. There's all sorts of wildlife here. I've actually got one of the guides here is going to take me out and about and show me like where to stay away from and like where the snakes tend to hang out and all that. And there's panthers here. So you just got to be aware. I saw a crocodile this morning. It took a one look at me and ran the other direction. They're afraid of people for the most part. They've gotten, they said the local villagers here do a really good job of taking care of the crocodiles that are not afraid of people. So that's something I'm aware of. I try and keep my eye on Rommel. so he doesn't end up getting into a snake or a crocodile or something like that. So he did take off after some horses yesterday. He was just so fascinated by them. He's never been around a lot of horses, so he was trotting along with them, and luckily they didn't kick him. So, because a lot of times horses will get freaked out by dogs, but these horses were pretty chilled. So, and the people were really nice. But I will say I crave a lot more carbohydrates than I ever have, being around this much sunshine. And I'm eating a pineapple every other day. So my body just craves that the like fruits like pineapples, watermelons, mangoes. I mean, my body just like I've never craved that stuff really before, but now, I mean, I could see why. I mean, it's you sweat, it's so hot and you sweat a lot. So your body's trying to replace all that fluid and all those micronutrients and stuff that you're sweating away. So I am going to cut this short. Dr. Stillman and I will be doing a webinar slash podcast here in the next couple days, which we'll release on here about what we're up to in the Fundamentals of Wellness Mastermind course. And then we'll get back to our schedule on our webinars or lessons, so to speak. So make sure you get on our email list. Go to stillmanwellness.com. I've got a couple different interviews coming up here. One with my friend Jackie Jolie. Another one with a friend of mine, Alex. I think her maiden name, her last name now is Guerrera. She used to be Alex Navarro, was her maiden name. Done a lot of interviews with her when she was at she used to be in Body IO, Carb Night, carb backloading. She works with a lot of hard charging women, so we're going to talk about a lot of stuff with that. And Jackie Jolie are going to talk about her company that she's starting up, EcoSoul, which is going to helping getting animals into more natural light, and some red light blankets for horses and dogs and all sorts of cool stuff. So we'll be talking about that here soon. And if you guys have any other ideas of things, people you'd like me to interview or topics you'd like us to cover, that would be great. And Dr. Stillman will be on here from time to time. He's just got a lot of family obligations, and I'm the Lone Ranger, traveling gypsy. My schedule is not as crazy as his, so I have a lot more availability than Dr. Stillman does. So I live a much simpler life because I am a simple man. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you take the time to get outside. Make the time, sit in nature, be still, be calm, be quiet, be still, and know. Take care.